Clifford the Big Red Dog is a film about a dog named Clifford who is big and red. So, at the very least, they understood the brief and they managed to tick all of the requirements. I actually had a pretty good time with it. It's not as corny and cheesy and sappy as you might expect. They have a good few jokes in it. I laughed a fair bit. And there's actually a really well choreographed fight inside a deli, which I was not anticipating from a kids' film, where they have a lot of slapstick humor, and you can really tell that the people behind it, they really cared about it. You know, they put some craft into it. It does look like he could have used a bit of a bigger budget. Some of the CGI shots, especially of dogs running through the streets, a little bit ropey. Could have been a little bit better, but the people who this is aimed for aren't going to notice some bad CGI. Other than that, there's not really an awful lot to talk about this film. I mean, it's very predictable. You can probably guess most of the beats from having seen the poster, never mind having seen the trailer. Um, the things I didn't expect her to be in there was that there was a little bit of touch on some cyberbullying stuff and bullying in general, which is nice to see for a kids' film. Um, Dogs apparently can perfectly understand human speech, and not just Clifford, which you might think might be his superpower, because his superpower is apparently spider sense, because he is able to detect people in danger who he cannot see or hear. But hey, he's a superhero for a kids' film. You can't really have too much of a go with him. Um, and it kind of leads into some of the I don't want to use the word horror when it comes to a kids' film, but yes, some of the horror aspects of the fact of having a giant dog who is quite capable of potentially eating you, more than I would anticipate. And they have some fun stuff, including they managed to get a Wilhelm scream in there, which is very surprising. And some hidden swear words too, like there was some clever use of wording that let them get away with some swear words you wouldn't normally get away with in a PG film. Um, that's really about it. Oh, there's also a rather fun bit where some animals get to attack cops by instinct, which is just a very natural thing. And indeed, the cops are presented as being bad guys throughout, which is very endearing for films these days. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you've got kids, they're probably going to ask you to take them to see it, and you'll have a better time than you might have expected. Like you would have done if you'd seen, say, one of the more recent Addams Family movies, because they're pretty bad. But yeah, Clifford, it's enjoyable enough. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's quite short and snappy, a little predictable, but you could definitely do a lot worse.